Hello, welcome back to the channel. And today, I have another tier list for you. It's been a while since I've done one. I think it's almost been a year. And I figured with the release of VHS Beyond at the time of filming this 2 days ago, I figured let's do a video ranking the VHS segments. So we're going to be ranking, all 37? From the start to the current state of the franchise, giving my thoughts and opinions on each of them, and I just figured, this would just be a fun way to, I guess, review the entire series, segment by segment. So, without further ado, let us begin. Starting up with tape 56, which serves as the frame narrative of the first movie. I'm gonna be real, don't like this one that much. I think the idea of these dudes trying to find something in a haunted house is kind of cool, but god damn it, these characters in this segment are fucking assholes and real pieces of shit. I mean, I guess it's fun because, you get to watch them die one by one, but just huge assholes, and it really takes the segment down. It's fine for what it is. It's the thing. It gets you from point A to point B, but I'm gonna put it in a whole lot of meh. So it's fine. Don't love it, but it serves as that thing that gets you from the one to the next. Next up, Amateur Night. This seems to be the segment everyone knows of, or at least is aware of, because of Lily, the monster in this segment. This segment, I'm going to be real, I don't love this segment. I know a lot of people really do. I don't love it. I think it's good, I just don't love it. It has a similar problem to Tape 56, where the characters are real douchey. But again, the twist of the girl they're trying to hit on being a monster, I think is really good. And the effects on Lily when she turns into a monster are really good. And I think the idea of having the camera be in the guy's glasses, that's kind of cool. Kind of creepy, but So Amateur Night, I think it's a solid segment. I'll give it would still recommend it. I don't love it, but I would recommend it. Then next up, Second Honeymoon. This segment is a whole lot of boring. Just because it's about these two people on a honeymoon road trip. Very boring. Not a lot happens. I'd say the best part of the segment is the parts where the stalker, the killer, is filming them at night. That's pretty creepy. But, I mean, it's kind of just... It's just boring. It's just really boring. So for that reason, I'm just going to put it in a whole lot of... It's on the verge of why even make this, or a whole lot of meh. I think I'll put into why even make this, because it's just boring. It's just really damn boring. Next up, we have Tuesday the 17th. This one is not great, but it is a lot of fun, because this one is a slasher. It's obviously, a jokey thing to Friday the 13th. This segment is fun. The kills particularly are great. But if you're not a big fan of slashers, then, I mean, there's not much really there for you. And for me, I think it's stupid, but, it's a fine segment. So I would put it in would still recommend. Oh, God. Sorry about that. I had some phlegm. Next up is The Sick Thing That Happened to Emily When She Was Younger. Similar to Second Honeymoon, this one's just really fucking boring. And even, I will say this, it's unpredictable, you don't really know where it's going, but goddamn, it's boring. The twist with, weird alien children, yeah, this is just another one where it's like, why even make it? It's really boring, and it's not scary at all, which, I mean, a lot of them aren't going to be scary, but that one's just really fucking boring. Yeah. Alright, and the final segment for the first VHS is 103198. This, to me anyway, is the only segment from the first movie that I would say is worth watching. I would say that with Amateur Night as well, but I legitimately think 103198 is a great segment. It's probably one of the best segments in the series. I really like it. I think the filmmaking and effects work in it are great. So, for that reason, I think I'm going to put my mic down. I'm going to put this, Jesus Christ. I'm going to put this in certified masterpiece. Because again, it is definitely the best segment from the first movie. And to me anyway, it's the only one that I see is worth watching. So, with the first one out of the way, let's move on to the second film, starting with Tape 49, which is the frame narrative for VHS 2. I think I enjoy this one more than Tape 56. One, because the two characters in this one aren't assholes. Like, they're not great people, but like they're a lot nicer than the guys in the first movie. And I do think the story for this one's a bit more interesting than Tape 56, where they're trying to figure out what happened to this teenager, and they are going through the tapes he had been collecting, which those tapes are the segments of the movie. So I'll give Tape 49 a still recommend. It's better, but it's not much better. So next up, the first segment of VHS 2 is Phase 1 Clinical Trials. This one, it's about a dude who gets a camera eye implant, and this eye makes him see ghosts. I actually really like this segment. I really enjoy it. The idea of this mechanical body part giving you the ability to see the dead, that's kind of cool. And the kills in this one are pretty good. Well, the main guy's death is pretty good. And I think I just really like it. I like the idea. Not much to say. I'd put this one in pretty good, quite good. Next up is A Ride in the Park. This one is about a dude who films his BMX footage when he discovers zombies in the woods. This one it's in a similar vein to Tuesday the 17th, where it's not great, but it's just a lot of fun. The zombie attacks and kills are really fucking good. And there's also a really good bit of dark humor in this one too that I really enjoy. So, A Ride in the Park, I'll also put in quite good. Alright, next up. This one is widely considered to be the best segment in the franchise, Safe Haven. This segment, it's about these documentary filmmakers going to a cult in Indonesia. When while they're there, they are attacked by the cult members that engage in a Jonestown level event. I don't think I can mention too much more, because this video might get taken down if I say anything else, but this segment is fucking incredible. The effects work for the monster at the end is really good. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it would be rude of me to not put this in certified masterpiece, right? It would feel wrong of me to not do that. So Safe Haven gets a certified masterpiece rating. Next up is not Kids vs. Aliens, that's the feature length. Slumber Party Alien Abduction. And this is about a group of asshole little kids that, while bothering their older sister, aliens show up and abduct them. This one is also really good. Not as good as Safe Haven, but I still really like this one. And I just love how authentic the kids are, like how much they feel like actual children. and how much of little assholes they are. That's really fun. The aliens themselves look really good. And this one actually has a really sad ending because the dog with the camera is mounted to sadly dies at the end, so that's really sad. Rest in peace, Tank. But yeah, Slumber Party Alien Abduction, I think I'll give an awesome. This is a really good one. It would be a certified masterpiece, but the thing that kind of holds it back to me is that a little too long. I think it takes a little bit too long getting to the actual aliens, but, still really damn good. Anyway, next up, VHS Viral. Yay. I'm going to be real. VHS Viral might be, like, top 20 worst movies I've ever seen. And the main reason is this goddamn wraparound. Vicious Circles. I'm immediately going to put this in Burn It With Fire because this segment fucking sucks. It sucks so much. It is one of the worst segments I've ever seen in any anthology horror movie. It's one of the worst things I think I've ever seen. It's about this guy who's obsessed with his camera, and he's trying to like get viral footage, but at the same time he's also trying to find his girlfriend who goes missing. And it's supposed to connect to the cult of people that make the VHS segments and tapes. It's really dumb, it's really confusing, and it's just really bad. It's just really, really bad. And it alone makes Viral one of the worst things I've ever seen. Moving on, the first segment of Viral, no, I should say the actual segments, the three segments in Viral, they're fine. Not like great or anything, but they're fine, but it's just that rapper fucking sucks. Anyway, moving on. The first segment of Viral, Dante the Great. This one, it's about a amateur magician that finds a cloak that allows him to perform actual magic. And this cloak runs on flesh, so he has to feed people to it. So it's basically a little shop of horrors, but instead of a plant, it's a cloak. This one, it's fine. Like I said, all the segments besides the wraparound in this one are fine. But the main problem with Dante the Great is that it doesn't feel like a found footage, like tape. It doesn't fit well with the rest of the series because it's presented more as like a documentary rather than actual lost footage, like an actual lost recording. And because of that, it doesn't feel authentic at all. And towards the end, you don't even, like, the camera is an afterthought. The idea of who's holding the camera is just an afterthought towards the end of the segment. But besides that, it's fine. I would give it would recommend. It's fine. I think there's a lot of good things in it. I think the stunt work is really good in it. But, it's just, it's fine. It's just fine. Next up, Parallel Monsters. This is the one that everybody knows from this movie. And it's about this Hispanic scientist who creates a door to another dimension where at first he thinks, things are relatively the same until he discovers that the people in this dimension have dick monsters. Their genitalia are dick monsters. It is really fucking gross. Honestly, this one's, again, it's just fine. I think the only thing that's really worth anything in this is the practical effects on said dick monsters. And there's also one kill in this that's really fucking gross. I think this one's just kind of a lot of meh. It's fine. I wouldn't recommend it because it's really fucking gross and weird. But it's fine. Moving on, the final segment of Viral, Bone Storm. This is my favorite segment from this movie. This segment follows a group of skateboarders that go down to Mexico to, record some pro skating footage when they discover a satanic ritual occurring in the place they're skating, and now they have to fight off the cultists to survive. This segment is not great. But the reason I like it is because it knows exactly what it is. It knows it's dumb, and because of that, I'm able to enjoy the fact that it knows it's stupid and it's just wanting to give you a good time. And for me, anyway, that's enough for me to like it. And also, this segment's really fucking gory, and I love it. I'm a big fan of gore. So for me, I'll give Bone Storm a actually quite good. It's definitely, for me anyway, it's the best segment out of Viral. So yeah, I know there's a fourth segment in Viral, but that segment was never actually put in the movie. And I have seen it, and I'll just rate it, burn it with fire. I can't even really remember what it was about. I remember it was really bad though, so I'll just put it and burn it with fire, so I don't get comments telling me, "Oh, you didn't include the fourth segment from Viral." So yeah, there you go. That's that. It's called a Gorgeous Vortex. It's not very good. I have seen it. It's not very good. I'm gonna skip over these shorts because I didn't know they existed and they're not actually part of a movie. So moving on to VHS 94, which is my favorite movie in the franchise. So, starting off, we got Holy Hell, the frame, which is our framing device for this movie, and it follows a SWAT team as they're sent into a warehouse to, actually, I forget, it's for a drug bust, only to find that it is actually inhabited by the VHS cult. This segment, it's fine. I think it's probably up to now anyway, I think it's on par with Tape 49 from VHS 2. I don't love the ending because the acting by the end's really fucking bad. But, it's a decent wraparound. And I mean, I think it's a decent wraparound. I would put it on par with Tape 49 from VHS 2. Moving on to Storm Drain. And before I mention anything, I gotta throw one out there to the big man, Hail Ratma. But Storm Drain, this is about a reporter that is doing coverage on a local legend called the Rat Man when she decides to go into a sewer tunnel to get some extra footage. She discovers, a little more than what she bargained for down there, including our Lord and Savior Ratma. So this segment, I have to give it a certified masterpiece. Because this segment is amazing. I love this fucking segment. From just how creepy it is, just the B-roll footage in the sewer is really fucking creepy. And then when you actually see Ratma, oh my god, it's beautiful. Just those creature effects are so damn good. And it has one of the best kills I've ever seen in a horror film. It's just, so good. It's so fucking good. Absolute certified masterpiece. I fucking love that segment. Veggie Masher. This is just a random commercial in the Storm Drain segment. I don't know why that's its own thing. I guess I'll put it in a whole lot of meh. It's just a part of Storm Drain. I don't know why it's its own. Okay. Next up, The Empty Wake. This one is about a girl who just got hired at a funeral home, and she is told to spend the night waiting for people to come to this man's wake. But over the course of the night, she finds that the guy in the casket might not be very dead after all. This segment, it's good, but it's not really for me, personally. I like the idea, and I like the way it's filmed, where it's a whole bunch of different cameras in the room. I like that. The sound design in the segment's also really good. But again, it's not really a segment for me, personally. I think it's good, and I would still recommend it. I would recommend it. Ranked the wrong one, my bad. Well, subject, get back down there. We'll rank you next. But yeah, I would still recommend The Empty Wake. It's not really a for me kind of thing, but it's still good. It's still good. Next up, The Subject. Just like with Storm Drain, I think I have to put this in certified masterpiece. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to put it in certified masterpiece, but I'm going to put it in wow, that's awesome. because it's really good. It's about this segment is about a mad scientist in Indonesia, I think. I think that was the country, who either Indonesia or Cambodia, I can't remember. It's one of those countries. Who kidnaps random people off the street and performs experimentations on them to turn them into machine people. And this segment is filmed from two perspectives. It's filmed from the one of the experiments perspective, and it's filmed from a perspective of a group of cops that break in to, kill the mad scientist and save anyone that is worth saving. This segment is so damn good. It feels so much like a video game, and it's kind of ironic because I think Resident Evil 8 came out the same year, and Resident Evil 8 has a very similar section in that game where you have to go up against machine people. But like seriously, this segment, if they do like a game based off of any of these segments, it probably would have to be off the subject. It's really fucking good. My only complaint with it is that it's really long. I think it is the longest segment in the entire franchise. I can't remember exactly how long it is, but it's a little long. It's a little long. It takes a while to get going, but once it gets going, it is so fucking good. It is just so much carnage, so much chaos, and it's so damn good. Absolutely love it. Next up is Terror. This is the final segment of 94. And it follows a group of white supremacists as they try to use a vampire to commit domestic terrorism to, quote, take America back. This segment, it's good. It's good. I love the creature effects, particularly on the vampire. I don't know. The characters are assholes, and I mean, yeah, that's the point. They're white supremacists. But I do love the humor in the segment where they're they're trying to be this serious group of asshole racists, but like they keep messing shit up, and that's really funny. But the highlight of this segment is definitely the vampire. That's definitely the highlight. I'll put Terror in quite good. Again, it's definitely not the best segment. It does not reach the levels of Storm Drain and the subject, but it's still a really good segment, and it's a lot of fun to watch, especially if you like seeing racist dickheads get murdered. That's really fun. Moving on to VHS 99. Note, we do not actually have a frame narrative for this movie, because this one doesn't have one. I don't know why it doesn't fucking have one. And if I'm not mistaken, instead of a frame narrative, it has the interludes are little stop motion movies. I don't know why this one didn't get a frame narrative. It probably would have benefited from having one. But anyway, moving on to the first segment of 99, Shredding. This one follows a group of amateur punk rockers as they are playing in a haunted venue that is supposedly haunted by the souls of another rock band that were killed down there. This segment is fine. It's fine. I don't love it. The characters in it are assholes. Real pieces of shit. And I don't love the monsters in this one, where it's the ghosts of the punk rockers that got killed down there, like coming back as zombies, and like they're hunting them down, and like I don't love this segment. I just don't like it that much, mainly because this kind of leads into the problem with some of the VHS segments where they just reuse a lot of ideas from previous segments. Because this one has zombies in it. And we've already had zombies like 2 or 3 times already in the series. And I'm like, I don't know. And also, the main issue that I have with this segment is that it takes place in 1999. And I fucking hate new music from 1996 to 2005. There's a few exceptions, but I'm not a big fan of that style of music from that time point. And that really makes me not enjoy this segment that much. So I'm going to put Shredding in why even make this? I didn't like this segment that much. Next up is Suicide Bid, and this one's about a college freshman who gets a really fucked up hazing prank done to her where she's buried in a coffin. Well, no, she's left in a coffin. She's not buried. And this segment, I would have liked it more if it wasn't supernatural. I think this segment would have been a lot better if it was just this girl being trapped in a coffin. I think that would have been a lot scarier, in my opinion. And the supernatural stuff kind of just feels tacked on in this segment. Like, yeah, they mention the supernatural stuff at the beginning, but I don't know, it just comes in really tacked on at the end, and I don't like it that much. But I think it's fine. To me, it's just a kind of a whole bunch of meh. Like, it's a fine segment. I just would have liked it more if it wasn't supernatural. I think it would have been a lot scarier if it wasn't supernatural. Next up, Ozzy's Dungeon. This segment is one of the only two fucking words. This segment is one of two from VHS 99 that I would recommend. I really like Ozzy's Dungeon. This segment is about this guy who hosts a Nickelodeon-style game show who, during the filming of an episode, one of the contestants gets gravely injured, and then the family of that contestant later kidnaps the game show host and forces him to go through the same thing that injured their child. This segment is really good, but it's definitely not for everyone. This segment is really mean. It's really gross. And Stephen Ogg, particularly the guy who plays the host, his acting for when he's essentially being tortured by the family of the child that got injured, he's really good at acting terrified, and it makes it even harder to watch. And I actually gagged while watching this segment. That's how fucking gross it is. And I really like the ending where they actually show Ozzy, the monster. I really like the ending. So I'll give Ozzy's Dungeon a wow, that was awesome. I really liked it. Definitely not for everyone. It's very mean and it's very gross. But yeah, I really liked Ozzy's Dungeon. Next up is Gawkers. This one is about a group of horny teenagers who are trying to spy on their new next door neighbor, who turns out is a monster. Go fucking figure. I think Gawkers is kind of like a lesser version of Amateur Night in terms of like mainly the monster. I don't think the monster in this one is as good as Lily from Amateur Night. I think it's fine. I would put it and would still recommend, but you know, it's kind of just a lesser version of Amateur Night. I do like the kills though. The kills in that one are pretty good. Anyway, moving on to the final segment of VHS 99, and it's my favorite one from this movie, To Hell and Back. First off, I'm putting this in Certified Masterpiece. Oh, fuck. I accidentally went a little too high. But yeah, I'm putting To Hell and Back into Certified Masterpiece. This is definitely the best segment from 99. It's about this cult that at the turn of the new millennium on New Year's Eve, two of the guys who are in the building get sucked into hell, and it's just about them trying to get back to Earth. And then they come across this crazy girl named Mabel who's been trapped down there for God knows how long. This segment's really fucking funny. There's a lot of really cool kills in it, a lot of cool practical effects. And I love it. I love this damn segment. I think the design of hell in this segment's really is very unique. But yeah, To Hell and Back, great segment. I think the ending is both really funny and tragic. Because, like, they actually get out of hell, but then they get killed by the cult guys. It's really fucking funny, yet really tragic. So yeah, To Hell and Back, it's definitely the best segment from 99. I absolutely loved it. Moving on to VHS 85, which was released last year. We have our frame narrative, Total Copy. This, to me, is my favorite frame narrative from the series. This one serves as like a weird, it serves as like a documentary about telling what happened, about what happened to this group of scientists that are studying the shapeshifter. And I really like it. I love how authentic it feels to like an actual science documentary you would see. I also, as a fan of SCP stuff, I really like how it feels like an SCP, just something you would find on like an SCP site. So, also, I love the monster in the segment. Rory, the shapeshifter, I fucking love him. I love him. I love the ending to this segment too, where they show you what happened to the scientist, only to reveal that Rory, he kills all of them. He kills all the scientists. But then he has their bodies do aerobic videos. Like he makes their bodies, Rory puppeteers their bodies into making them do aerobics videos because that was all they were showing him on the TV in his room. Holy shit, that made me fucking laugh so much. So for that reason, I think I'm gonna give Total Copy an awesome. Like, the one thing that holds it back from being certified masterpiece is that since it's a frame narrative, it gets broken up, and I feel like it should have been one of the main segments. But yeah, Total Copy, really fucking great. Would recommend it. Very goddamn funny. Next up, I'm actually going to rank these two together because if you've seen VHS 85, you would know that these segments are actually connected. So that is No Wake and Ambrosia. So we'll start with No Wake. No Wake is about... Oh, shit, my throat. Sorry about that. My throat was real dry. Anyway, No Wake is about a group of friends who go out on a boating trip on a lake when suddenly shots start ringing out when they're on the boat, and all of them are killed. Every single one of them get killed. But here's the twist. They somehow come back to life. But note, not everyone comes back to life. Only the people that were on the boat and that got in the water come back to life. Because here's the twist. The lake is supernatural, and anyone that dies in it comes back to life. It's very much like Pet Sematary with the Micmac grounds. I mean, fuck, they even mention Pet Sematary in this segment. I like this segment mainly because I like the idea of it, where it's this lake that can bring you back to life. Or, well, no, it's not that it brings you back to life. It brings you back to life and it makes you incapable of dying. I really like that idea. I kind of wish they did more with it. Like more just about the lake itself, but I really liked it. So I'll put No Wake in quite good. And now for its sequel, Ambrosia. This one follows the killer in No Wake, the person who was shooting at them. And she is a part of this cult, this like family cult of murderers that always go out and murder 7 people. And this one has the family get into a shootout with the police. But earlier in this segment, the girl, Ruth, the killer, the girl that murdered the people in No Wake, she gets shot with the lake water. So when she gets shot up, she doesn't die, and she can't die. She even tries to, end it, put the, gun to the mouth, but it doesn't work. She can't die anymore. It's a little darkly comedic. I think Ambrosia, like, it's fine. It's a little short. It's a little too short, in my opinion. So I would recommend it. Like, if you're watching No Wake, I definitely would recommend it, seeing it just to finish out with No Wake. But it's a little too short. And like in No Wake, it doesn't really focus on the supernatural lake itself. But, the two together are fine. Moving on to God of Death. This one is about a Spanish news station that, while in the middle of a broadcast, they get hit by an earthquake. And the majority of the segment follows a team of rescuers trying to take any survivors in the news station to a safe place, but they find themselves deep within tunnels under the city, and eventually they stumble across some old Aztec shit. I think it's Aztec, I might be wrong. Now, much like with Suicide Bid in 99, I think this segment would have been a bit better if there was no supernatural stuff in it. I think the idea of being trapped while an earthquake is happening, that is terrifying to me. And part of me wishes it was just that, because my main problem with God of Death is that the supernatural stuff, much like in Suicide Bid, the supernatural stuff kind of just comes right the fuck out of nowhere and doesn't really gel well with the rest of the segment. But up until then, the stuff with the earthquake is really good. So I'll put God of Death and still would recommend, because the stuff involving the earthquake is really good. Is really good. Just I don't love the supernatural stuff. So next up we have Technogod. I know it's TKNOGD. I'm assuming that's supposed to mean Technogod, so I'm just going to call it Technogod. Technogod is about a girl who's doing this weird seminar about technology and how technology has killed religion and something like that. And she eventually puts on this rudimentary VR headset to confront the supposed Technogod. This segment is fine. I think it's a lot like Second Honeymoon and The Sick Thing That Happened to Emily when she was younger, where it's kind of just boring. But unlike Second Honeymoon and The Sick Thing That Happened to Emily when she was younger, this segment gets real fucking buck wild, and it kind of saves it a little. This segment also feels a lot like Lawnmower Man, if you've ever seen that movie. And I'm like, if you've seen Lawnmower Man, you've seen Technogod. But I like the way the segment ends. So for Technogod, I'm gonna put it in a whole lot of meh. It really only gets good at the end. Like, it only gets good at the ending. So I'm just gonna put it in a whole lot of meh. Next up, the final segment for VHS 85, Dream Kill. This is my favorite segment from this movie. Dream Kill follows this detective who is sent videotapes by a anonymous person that show murders that haven't actually occurred yet. Now, eventually they do figure out who is sending the tapes, that being this goth kid named Gunter, who is psychic. Gunter is psychic and who has prophetic dreams, so he can see shit in the future in his dreams. And for some reason, his TV starts broadcasting his dreams on the TV. And he records them, makes them into VHS tapes, and sends them to the detective. This segment is fun. It's really fun. I think it's really good, too. Particularly the tapes of the murders. They are terrifying. It's a lot of Sinister vibes, like the Sinister tapes in that movie, which makes sense considering the guy who did Sinister directed Dream Kill as well. So that makes sense. The twist, a little muddled. It gets a little muddled towards the end, and it kind of falls in on itself towards the end, but I still really like it, and I will give it... I'm not going to give it a certified masterpiece, but... Nope, it's definitely not going in there. I will give it a wow, that was awesome, because it's a really good segment. Now, moving on to the latest film in the franchise, VHS Beyond. Also, if you didn't see, I did post a review for this movie yesterday, so if you haven't checked that out, go watch it. So, the frame narrative for this film is Abduction Adduction. This is definitely one of the weaker frame narratives. I'm just going to put it in a whole lot of meh, because there's nothing actually supernatural in this one. It's a documentary talking about aliens and science fiction in general. Like I said in my review for VHS Beyond, I think it's a different approach for frame narrative, And again, I like that the Corridor guys are in it, but I mean, it's just kind of a whole lot of meh. It's definitely not as bad as Vicious Cycles, but it's just meh. And next up, Stork. I fucking love this segment. Stork is about this group of police officers that are sent into this house to find a whole bunch of kidnapped babies. And holy shit, this segment is fucking awesome. There's not much in the way of plot once they get into the house, but it's so bloody and so gory, and there's just so much awesome bloody action that I don't give a shit. This segment is based off of a artwork, like a set of artwork that was created by I forget his last name. His first name's Oleg. I should have researched. I'm dumb, very dumb. He's known as Chuvaback, and they adapt the artwork beautifully. The practical effects in this segment it's probably the best the effects in this segment are probably the best in the movie. Particularly on the stork itself, the bird monster. Holy shit, I love it. This segment is getting a very, very respectable. Wow, that was awesome. If my fucking. Oh. Yeah, no, wrong fucking one. God damn it. No, you get back down there. No, God, no, I'm not. My computer is lagging. Shit. Stork, come on. You're going in. Wow, that was awesome. Anyway, sorry for that. My computer was having brain farts. Oh, come on. So next up, we have Dream Girl. This segment was enjoyable. And this segment is about three dudes that are sent to a movie shoot to get some footage of the main star in this film, only for them to discover that the girl's a robot that steals faces. Yeah. I think the best part of this segment is the kill spree that happens in it. That is scored to a eerily catchy song. This segment, much like Stork and Bone Storm, it's just a lot of fun. Like, it's goofy and stupid. So, and that's enough for me to enjoy it. So I'll give Dream Girl quite good. Next up, my favorite segment from Beyond, Live and Let Dive. This segment is about a group of friends who decide to go skydiving to celebrate one of their friends' 30th birthdays. But during the plane ride up, they see a UFO out the side of the plane, and then that UFO causes them to, go down. I fucking love this segment. I really do. For one, the scene where they have to jump out, where the plane takes damage and they jump out. Holy shit, that is terrifying because you're seeing this guy's point of view, because I think the camera's on his head, and you're seeing him falling, and it's terrifying. It's really fucking terrifying. It's like the coffin in Suicide Bid or the earthquake in God of Death, where it's just taking something more realistic and making that into the segment. It's fucking great. It's terrifying. But unlike Suicide Bid and God of Death, where the supernatural stuff comes in and comes kind of out of nowhere, no, they set the aliens up right from the beginning. So the aliens don't actually feel out of place in this one. And the aliens in this segment are really weird looking, but I love their designs. They have this weird scorpion ass where their legs kind of hunch in front of their hips. It's really weird, and I love it. I love the way these aliens kill people, where they stick their weird wrist swords into them and they fucking fry them. It's awesome. The aliens look great. The CG on them's a little wonky, but the practical alien puppets of the aliens look great. And I fucking loved this segment. I'm gonna give Live and Let Dive a respectable certified masterpiece. Fucking loved it. Absolutely, definitely the best segment of Beyond for me. Anyway, next up, Fur Babies. So, I haven't been mentioning who's been directing the segments, but I feel like I need to mention it for this one. This was directed by Justin Long and his brother Christian Long. And I'm just gonna say, Justin, did Kevin Smith hurt you in any real way? Like, because this segment it's just Tusk. It's just Tusk 2, Dog Edition. Because anyway, this segment is about a animal rights group, activist group, that is trying to, I guess, cancel this doggy daycare owner because they think she abuses dogs, only to find out she doesn't abuse dogs, she abuses humans. And she turns humans into dog creatures by surgically attaching dog parts she gets from cemeteries and other places to them, and she treats and abuses them to condition them to act like dogs. It's like I said, it's Tusk. It's Tusk 2 Dog Edition. And it's fucking awesome. It's so stupid and awesome, and I love it. So for me, I'm gonna put Fur Babies in quite good. I loved this dumbass shit. It was so fucking fun. Particularly, and I loved the performance by Libby Letlow, I think is her name, who plays the doggy daycare owner. She's really good playing this fucked up doggy daycare owner. I love it. I love it. Love it. Holy shit, I'm spinning my wheels, aren't I? Oh boy. Woo! We're almost done. Almost done. And the final segment of Beyond and this video, the Stowaway. This one, it's definitely the weirdest segment in Beyond, and that's fucking saying something after Fur Babies. But this segment is about a girl who's recording stuff in the Mojave Desert, which was the site of weird lights in the sky, only for her to find the lights have returned, and one of them crashes, well, not crashes, it lands, and it's a spaceship, and she goes in it, and she gets trapped in the spaceship when the alien wakes up and decides to, okay, time to go home. This segment, like I said, it's very weird. It's very David Lynch. Like, if you've seen anything like Eraserhead, it's very much similar to that in tone. It's really good. I love the ideas it has. I love the organic spaceship. I really like the way the spaceship is controlled, where it's these weird strings that are attached to the wall. I like this weird nanobot healing thing that can't heal people perfectly, because it has to use parts of other creatures to heal people. The ending, kind of abrupt and very weird, because it ends with the spaceship going into hyperdrive, hyperspeed, and she gets blown back into the wall and gets obliterated into pieces. But the nanobots put her back together. But since, as I mentioned, it can't repair things perfectly, because it has to use parts of other creatures to do so. And it turns her into this weird lizard, spider, octopus creature. You don't really get a good look at it, but it's weird and gross. And I also kind of like that this segment doesn't, the alien in this segment isn't really a bad guy. He's kind of just going about his day. And I like that you don't even really see much of the alien either. The Stowaway, I would put in quite good. Definitely one of those ones where it's not going to be for everyone. But for me, I enjoyed it. And I loved how fucking weird it was. But yeah, there you go. That is my ranking of the VHS segments. You can have a look through of where I put what. And I'm actually curious, what is y'all's ranking of these segments? If you've seen all the movies, I want to know how would you rank all these segments? Because I mean, this is just my opinion, and I'm interested to hear what y'all's are. And yeah. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. And I will see y'all next time. Goodbye.